In this video, we're gonna see how to get the Llama 3.3 API and interact with it using Python. And then we're gonna see how to build a chatbot by using the Llama 3.3 API using Python. Here you can see we are interacting with the Llama 3.3 using Python. You can see that I ask a prompt like what is LLM, and the Llama 3.3 responses back with LLM stands for large language model blah blah blah. And the cool part is that we can install the Llama 3.3 locally, that is we don't need any internet connection. We can install this Llama 3.3 either in Windows or Linux. So let us see how to get the Llama 3.3 API as well as how to install this Llama models locally. Let's get started. First, we will see how to get the API. So for this, just open a browser. So I'm going to open the Firefox, and in the search bar, just type Grok. So don't confuse it with the Grok, which is released by Elon Musk. This is another company called the Group. Just type this on the Google and click on the first result that says API key. So if you don't see the API keys directly, just search for Grok API and you will see all the API keys. Just click on that. You can see that authentication required. Just click on login. I'm gonna log in with the Google account. Let me select my Google account. Here click on continue. Now we have successfully logged into the Grok account. You can see that we have an option called the create API key. So we have to create the API key on this Grok so that we can get the Llama 3.3 API models. So just verify that. Just give a name for your API key. Now in this case, I'm gonna give like Llama chatbot and click on submit. You can see that now we got the API key. So using this API key, we can interact with the Llama 3.3. So let me copy this API key. I'm gonna create a folder now. So let me go to the desktop. So inside this, I'm gonna create a folder called the Llama chatbot. So let me open this folder in the terminal, and I'm going to open the folder in the Visual Studio Code as well. Now we have the folder in the Visual Studio Code. Let me create a Python file called the main.py. So before that, first let's open your terminal and we have to install the Grok library, which is an external library. We'll have to install that. So for this, let me open the terminal in the project folder and just type the following command to install the library, that is the Grok. Pip install Grok. GROQ. This is the library. You can see that now the Grok library has been installed successfully. Let me clear the screen and let's go to the Grok documentation now. Before that, let's go to the Visual Studio Code and let's paste the API key here now. API key equal to, and we're gonna paste the API key that we have copied. You can see that now we have the API key. Let me go to the Grok, and if you go to the Grok API key section and if you click on playground, you can see that this is the playground. This is similar to the Google Gemini. Here you can see you can interact with the Grok models. You can simply ask a prompt like, hi, how are you? And you can submit and you can get the response. You can see that on the top right hand side, you can see when you click on that, you can see we have a huge number of models. You can see that we have the one DeepSeek. You can see that I have already made a video about the DeepSeek. If you want to see how to get the DeepSeek API and how you can install the DeepSeek locally, you can check my previous videos. The DeepSeek model API is also available here. Llama model is also available here. If you scroll down, you can see that all the Llama models are available here in the graph. You can see the Llama 3.1, 3.2, 3.3, up to all the models and all the billion parameters, 70 billion parameters, 8 billion parameters. So in this video, we're gonna see the Llama 3.3. So if you scroll down, currently it is set to the Llama 3.3, which is a 70 billion parameter. And you can also change the temperature if you want. So basically temperature is how random your content do you want to be generated by the LLMs. So I'm going to leave this temperature to 1.08. If you want to install the same Llama 3.3 into your machine, like if you are using Windows, we can install the Llama into your Windows or Linux. So if you want to install this in either Linux or Windows, we'll have to use a software called the Ollama. So using this Ollama, you can install the Llama either in Windows or Linux. Just click on the first result that says Ollama. So you can see that here we have a Llama 3.3. Just click on that. You can see that there are 8 versions available. You can see that currently it is set to the 70 billion parameters. If you click on view all, you can see that there are lots of versions available. You can select the one that suits your brain or needs. So just download the Ollama and just pull the command to install the Llama into your machine either in Linux or Windows. So this is how you install the Llama locally in Windows or Linux. Now let's go to the API section now. So if you go to the graph, if you click on the submit button now, so let me click on the submit button. You can see that we get the response. This is a response generated by the Llama 3.3. So if you want to see the code for it, just click on view code. You can see that this is the code for the Llama 3.3. This is how you interact with the Llama 3.3 models. So let's go to the Visual Studio Code and let's see how we can interact with the Llama 3.3 using the API in Python. Let's get started. First, we need to import the Grok, right? So from Grok, we're gonna import the Grok class. Next, we need to define the client. So client equal to just call the Grok class, and inside this pass the API key equal to API key. Now we have the client, right? We can generate the response. So response equal to, we're gonna use the client dot chat dot completions dot create. So inside this create function, we're gonna pass series of parameters. The first parameter will be the model that you wanna use. You can see that we have the different options to select the parameters. First, we're gonna select the model. In this case, we are using the Llama 3.3, right? You can see that if you click on view code, here we have the model name. Let me copy this model name and let's go to the Visual Studio Code. If you want to change the model, just do that here, but I will leave the model as default, that is the Llama 3.3. If you want to use the DeepSeek, you can select that, but I will leave this as default. And let me paste the model name here. This is the model. Next, we need to pass the messages. This is where we input our prompt. So in this case, it will be of list of dictionaries. We have the two keys, that is role equal to user and role equal to assistant, and each have its content. First, we're gonna define the role equal to user, and the content of this user is the, here you have to provide the prompt. In this case, you can ask any prompt here, but I will get the prompt directly from the user. I will pass the prompt variable here, and I will get the prompt from the user. So let me define a prompt equal to, we're going to use the input function to get the input directly from the user, and then we're going to use the prompt variable in the messages list of dictionaries. Now we have the role equal to user. We have to define the temperature. How randomness do you want your response to be? In this case, just select the one, and max completion tokens equal to 1024. Just choose this, and top p equal to, I will leave this as 1, and stream equal to true. So these are the other parameters that we're going to use in this video. So if you want to just print the response, print response, first we don't know what is inside the response, right? First we will see what is inside the response by using the print statement. Then we're going to see how to extract the content only. So if you click on run button, you can see that it asks us to enter the prompt. For the prompt, I'm going to ask or explain what is LLM with an real world example. You consider now we have the Grok object, right? So let me show you how you can get the content from this Grok object, that is the response written by the LLM. So for this, we're gonna use a for loop now. So for response in the response variable, we're gonna use the print statement. Inside this print statement, response to dot, we're gonna use the choices. Inside these choices, we're gonna select the zeroth index, and inside that we have the delta, and inside that we have the content. So that's it. Just let me clear the screen and let me rerun this Python script now. You consider again in ask us to enter the prompt. For the prompt, I'm gonna ask explain what is alarm. You consider it is giving the response in the row wise. So we will have to fix this. For this, we're gonna use a n line separator. So inside this print statement, I'm gonna use a n line separator, end equal to, and we're gonna give you a command now. Save this file and let's try to rerun it now. And for the prompt again, I'm gonna ask explain LLM with a real world example. You consider now we got the response in a nicely neat format, right? So let me scroll up. You can see that it gave us a response. What is LLM with a real world example? Imagine you are a customer service representative, blah blah blah. You can just try it out yourself. Now let us see how to build a chatbot using this Llama API. So let me clear the screen. For this, we're going to use a while loop to continuously ask the prompt. So below this prompt, I'm gonna use a while true. We're gonna continuously ask the prompt from the user. So let me indent this. Before that, let's use a history list. This will contain the previous messages so that you can understand the memory. So inside this history, we're gonna store the messages. So let me cut this. So let me cut this and put it in the history list. So let's paste it here and let's remove the extra spaces. Now we have the history, right? So let me cut this and paste it below the prompt, because after the prompt only we can pass the prompt to the user, right? So let me cut this and paste it after the prompt. Now we have the messages equal to history. This will be our history variable. So we don't need this anymore. So we're gonna remove this and we're gonna get the response directly in single line. So a result equal to, we're gonna use the list comprehension to get the response in single line instead of using the loop. So first let's upon the user, that is the prompt. So this will be role equal to user and then content equal to prompt that the user enters. So we're gonna upon this role equal to user and content equal to prompt to the history list. Now after we have upon the role equal to user and content equal to prompt, we'll have to upon the a response also, so that you can understand the previous response, what are the chats that we have done earlier. So let me copy this. Before that we will have to get the a result, right? So a result equal to, or a result equal to, so we're gonna use a empty string. Inside this empty string we're gonna call the join function to join the, so here we're gonna use the list comprehension here for response in response. So before that, response dot, this is the same thing that we have done earlier. Response dot choices. Inside the choices we're gonna select the zeroth index, and inside this zeroth index we have the delta, and inside the delta we're gonna select the content. So yeah, this is it. Let's print the A result so that we can see what the A response is, and let's also append this to the list. So history dot append. So this will be role equal to assistant, I think. So role equal to assistant, and the content will be the AI result. Now we have upon both the things, that is the role user and the role assistant. So let me save this file. I think we have completed all the things. Let me save this file and let's try to run this now. For the prompt, I'm gonna ask what is LLM. You can see that we get a error. Let me fix the error now. So we get a error like none type found. So we have missed something here. So the A can respond this, or if you get the empty string, we'll have to get use the or. We're gonna just return the empty string. So we're gonna use or empty string. So let me clear the screen. That's why we get the error none type. Before this input, we're gonna use a new line here so that we can see this better. So let's try to ask the prompt what is LLM, and let's press enter. You can see that now we got the response properly. So LLM models are typically characterized by the size, training data. I consider again it asked for the prompt. Enter the prompt, and this time I'm gonna ask a prompt like write a Python code for the Fibonacci series. Let's see if the LLM gave us, that is the Llama 3.3 model. You consider this the code for the Fibonacci series. So yeah, this is it. This is how you interact with the Llama models using their APIs through the Python. So if you want to build anything, you can use their API to build this. So in this video, we have covered how to get the API and interact with the Python, and we have also seen how to install the Llama 3.3 models locally either in Windows or Linux. So this is for this video, and I will continue in the next one.